Yeah, I was one time. I was in a label, or I wasn't there, but my friend, he was at a label, and he's just in the elevator, and this is he gets in the elevator, and then it stops at one floor, and Pop gets in. It's like an elevator that's in like a building that has labels in it and shit. And then Pop gets in, and my homie's just like, "Oh man, Pop, like I fucks with you." Like this is when he was early on, but like still already had hits out and shit. And then the elevator stops at another floor. The doors open. Pop sees somebody that he has issues with, and he just immediately gets off the elevator and beats the dog shit out of him. And I only feel comfortable even saying this because he's gone. But when I met Pop, that was the first thing I said is I was like, yo, my friend told me a story about you. Can you confirm this? And he just couldn't stop laughing. He's like, man, yeah, that's real. He's like, yeah, I can't believe you know about that. That's fucked up.
Oh yeah, we definitely ain't giving no passes. Like, you feel me? We staying on that. So the money changed our situation. It don't change us. So like, yeah, like you feel me? Mm-hmm. That's definitely, I could verify that shit. And I wasn't there because I know like she one of them, you own them.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so I guess we got to fast forward a little bit, but like, how did you find out about what happened to him out here, and where were you when that occurred?
I was in the studio, and then I actually had just called my Uber, got in the cab, and then they had wrote it in the group chat like, yo, something happened to Pop. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, just get the information, find the details on the shit. Like an hour later, niggas like, yo, I heard he got shot. So I'm like, call his phone, he didn't pick up. So I'm like, yo, like what the fuck? I'm like, this shit real, niggas is playing. So I didn't know what to think, you feel me? I just was chilling. I'm like, damn, like, I don't want to overthink. Like, I don't want to, ain't no fact shit.
Right.
And then once everybody started making them calls and shit, then it was like, all right, you feel me? Pop died. And then I was like just stuck. Like, I couldn't even.
Right.
Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this shit fake. And then after that, you feel me, you know? Tears follow up after that, and you just think like for real, like, I don't know, shit was just unbelievable. Like, for me, some shit that I ain't never think would happen.
Right. So what were those next few days of your life like? Are you just like, fuck, I guess I should be around the guys of the family, or like try to, like, you want to help, but it's at the same time, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, like, it was definitely like that. Like, it was definitely on some, like, for me, let me go check the people I gotta check, you feel me? But I was just so hurt at the point. I was like, I didn't know who to be around or how to react. Like, you just don't know what's going on. So it's just like, for me, you just kind of stuck. Like, you just, at that point, I was just living. Like, I ain't had no plans to do none. I was just like, shit, fuck it. Like, I'm just taking it day by day. Like, you feel me? Because the shit hurt.
Yeah. No, it's super fucked up. Okay, but so in terms of like it's a crazy ass day for us to be doing this interview and shit, because today the cops in LA actually announced that they had arrested 5 people, and they're starting to come out with details. So like right now we know that they're saying that it wasn't people that he previously had issues with, it's just people who found the address via Airbnb. So was that news to you, or was that like kind of what you guys had assumed or expected the answer to be?
I mean, that's news to me because I was in the dark with the situation. I ain't get no information on how it was going on, so that's new news to me.
Because we were all like observing the situation, and it's kind of like when you think about New York gangbanging, you don't think of that shit necessarily mattering that much in LA. Like people, you know, it's like a different world in New York in a lot of ways. So like, I mean, like what was that feeling like? Because obviously you're angry and you want to know how this happened, but at the same time you're pretty much totally in the dark about it.
Yeah, like, but that was, even though I was in the dark, you feel me, it's like you still search for information in the ways that you were able to do shit, you feel me? Because never in a lifetime will I allow some shit like that to happen and then not be on it, you feel me? But you know how social media is today, it's hard to, you feel me? You can't really do nothing, so you feel me? You take the right precautions when you doing shit, but...
Yeah, when you heard about the fact that the address leaked on social media, though, is that just kind of like, it feels like that's kind of maybe a product of the fact that he was so new to being famous and shit that he wasn't necessarily thinking about that stuff as being as dangerous as it could be.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like that's some shit you don't even think about. Like, that's why it's so crazy, because it's like, you just taking a picture. You don't even really, you're not thinking like,
that people are going to be uncovering clues and figuring shit out.
You don't think that far ahead, especially when you not where you feel like you in danger or you should be looking over your shoulder and shit. So that situation is just crazy.
Yeah, that's super fucked up. And the other thing that came out today is that some people are speculating that Pop actually shot one of the dudes when this situation went down. Is that news to you as well?
Yeah, I don't know about that because I wasn't there, and they didn't announce that, so shit, that's new news to me too.
Does that in any way make the situation feel like it makes more sense? Because that was like a lot of the conversation going around about it was just like, you know, like how could he have been in that situation without security or without somebody watching over him, protecting him or whatever?
I mean, that shit don't make more sense to me because none of this shit makes sense at all. You feel me? That whole shit to me is like, it's an unbelievable story, so nothing makes sense to me. So I ain't believing shit because I wasn't there. You feel me? So everybody can have their stories or what they assume and shit. We don't know. We wasn't there.
What how's it been seeing the city react to it and really like almost like, you know, he's turned into like such a god of the city, like his image is like immortal. It feels like it's going to be the kind of thing like with Biggie or Pac or whatever where it's just going to, I don't know, it's hard to imagine the city like moving on or forgetting how much of an impact he made during his short time being in the starlight.
Nah, like I feel like the city will probably never forget him, and then as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna make sure niggas don't forget him. Cause you feel me, that's my brother at the end of the day. So I feel like he'd do the same for me. So you feel me, I'm gonna definitely do that. And it's like, but I really, it's a good vibe. Like when you in the city and you just see like everybody playing his shit, everybody got on his merch, like niggas is really doing this for Pop Smoke. And for me, that's ultimately what he wanted. Like he wanted the hood to come together. He wanted New York to be a different vibe. So it's like we accomplished that. He accomplished that. So you feel me? I know you feel me. He looking down. He proud, and he achieved his goal. So that's definitely good.
Definitely. So like your album, was it Woo Forever?
Yeah.
So what like, you know, you go into that project thinking that, you know, you want to honor his name and you want to make the album like sort of pay tribute in a way? Like what was your mentality in terms of putting out your first project after he passed?
I mean, like, yeah, it was definitely like, definitely gonna honor my brother, like gonna shout him out, you feel me? Cause that's what we do, but it's still like, in the back of my head, it still work. You feel me? And we had that type of relationship. Like if something happened and you feel me, like, and niggas is sad or mad, nigga, he'd hit, yo, Rod, stop being a bitch, bro. Like, stop moving like that, bro. Like, you gangster, bro. Like, don't, you feel me? So that's playing back in my head, too. Like, nigga don't want me crying and shit. He don't want me sad all day. Like, you feel me? Yeah, nigga, get in your bag. Like, for me, that's what I told you to do anyway, get in your bag. So it's like, I worked on that tape. I had that shit done in about a month and a half. And it was just like, all right, I'm definitely gonna make bro a part of this. And then I'm gonna let the people know how I'm coming too. Like, we definitely gonna continue doing this.
Do you have unreleased songs with him that you weren't able to put on the project because of label shit?
I got a couple unreleased songs with him, but I wouldn't say it was a problem with label shit. It's just, for me, waiting on the time and working everything out appropriately.
Yeah, because it's always like, I mean, the labels, the way they act about like letting anything out from an artist when they first pass, it can just be crazy as fuck.
Yeah, I already know that shit hectic.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, but so in terms of his album, there's been like a bunch of conversation about, you know, basically like none of the Brooklyn artists being featured on it and shit. Cowboy was, well, he's not from Brooklyn, but he was very vocal about not being appreciative of the fact that he got removed from the album. Do you respect that? You feel like the album should have been maybe more true to some of the shit that he was doing during his life, or do you think that, you know, it makes sense to you because it's just, you know, the label's gonna do what they're gonna do with it?
Yeah, like in this situation, I feel like do what's best for Pop Smoke. Feel me? Whatever's gonna feed his family best, keep his name living longer, and like do what's best for Pop Smoke. So if they feel like having Brooklyn drill rappers on the album wasn't what's best for him, then fuck it. For me, that's for them to decide. So I don't feel no type of way about it or nothing. It's just like, for me, I'm gonna stand on do what's best for Pop Smoke.
Yeah, because there's been like a lot of little controversies popping up where people want to have opinions about different things going on in terms of how his image and his you know, whole movement has been represented after the fact. Like there was the whole conversation about the Virgil designed album cover that people weren't fucking with at first. Like, did you agree with any of that criticism? And do you feel like it's even like cool for the fans to have opinions about stuff like that?
I mean, I feel like people gonna have their opinions, you feel me? He not here to say if he would've liked it or not. So it's like, your opinion is your opinion. Some people said they not a lot of people said they liked it, but some people said they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the opinion is the opinion, and whether or not if they should have, I don't know. That's crazy right there. I got mixed emotions about that. I feel like it was a good thing that the fans was involved, and then I feel like on the other end it could have been cool if nobody knew. So for me, it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's crazy because like you guys' music has become so big that you got all kinds of random ass kids in Germany who got opinions and shit. It's not just like the city. It's like anyone in the whole world can just be voicing their opinions about it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, one of the other craziest things I've seen too is just the fact that on Twitter right now, if you do #Woo, it puts the fucking image of his head.
Yeah.
I only seen them do that for a couple things in the history of Twitter. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I fuck with that shit.
Yo.
I seen that shit. I'm like, nah, that's a big move right there. Like, that's fire.
I'm like, man, does Twitter realize that they're kind of sort of like getting in on the gangbanging right here? I don't know if Twitter really understood what that meant. If
Shout out to Twitter.
Did that.
Twitter on a lot of woo shit. #Woo.
Yeah, that's got to be rough if you're on the other side, huh?
We ain't worried about them.
Okay, so a couple of bars like stood out to me on your album though is one when you said, "I'm fucking this bitch from the front and I got her toe in my mouth." I was like, oh, this is a different kind of guy right here. That's a different type of lyric right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you got to just, is that an example of you just keeping it super real, or are you just trying to make people laugh with that?
That's real shit. Like, you feel me? Ask my girl.
I've been there too. Yeah, that's my girl.
You feel me? Ask my girl. Real shit.
Shit happens. I noticed you had like a poker bar in there too. You said something about ace, king, queen, jack 10 suited. Where did that come from?
Poker.
You play poker?
Nah, never played poker in my life.
You just know the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just knew like, what's that shit called? Where you got all them cards or a royal flush or some shit like that?
Oh yeah.
I just knew like that, so I just, feel me? I ain't gonna lie, I probably Googled this shit to make sure it was right. I can't remember right now, but I probably did that, and I was just like, I got a poker bar. Like, that's how I make my music. Like, I just see shit. I probably seen like a poker commercial, so I don't know. And it's like, shit, I'm gonna put that in a bar.
Have you ever gone through time periods where it was hard for you to like be motivated to record, or where it didn't necessarily like feel right? Like, was putting this project together a struggle at all, or was it did it feel normal?
This project itself, it wasn't a struggle because I was in go mode. Like, I was just like for me, I gotta do it now. I gotta step up to the plate. No matter how anybody else feel, what they say, I gotta do this for bro. So I was really locked in. Like, I had the tape done and didn't even realize because I over-recorded. Like, I had like 30 songs. And it was like, oh shit, like we got a project here. Like, let's pick these songs out and put it in a project. So it was just straight work for me.
Definitely.
Appreciate y'all for watching my clip. Make sure you go tune into the full interview right now on No Jumper.